Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second chapter of web development. So, in the last video, we learned about what a web development is and what are the basics of HTML and CSS, and we created a new web page. So, today we will be learning about HTML tables. So, let's begin. So, let's open up our XAMPP control panel and we will start our Apache server and we will start our MySQL and we will go to the directory, XAMPP directory through here. We need to click here on the Explorer and here it is. Okay, so we will go into the htdocs and over here we will create a new folder, HTML. Now we will open up our editor, which is Sublime Text. So this is for the previous project. Now we will load this directory here and we will create a new file and we will name it index.php or we will name index.html. Okay, so here it is. HTML tables. Most HTML tables. Now we will link up our CSS. First of all, we will create a new file by the name file. First, create a new directory by the name CSS, and inside CSS we will create a new file by the name file.css. Now we will link up our CSS here. Link style sheet CSS style. So first of all, we will create a section. Inside the section, we will inside the div tag, we will create a table. So inside the table, we will take one table head. Inside the table head, we will take a table row, heading. Inside the table heading, let's suppose we'll say serial number. We will take another column with phone number. Let's say email. Okay, I think that will be all. So if you see, we have got our heading, the table heading or the table header. Now we will create the table body, denoted by t body. Inside t body, here will be the table row. Inside table row, we will declare the columns, the values. So serial number 1, customer name. Okay, so the table column, the column of the table body would be denoted by TD 1. So serial number is 1, customer name is, let's say, Peter, phone number, any random phone number, and we'll create the or gmail.com. Here we got the table. Now we will create another row. So let's suppose we fill up data 1, 2, 4, 5. We'll change the name. Peter, let's say Mark, Mark, Chris, Chris, Julian, Julian. So we have got our table here. Now we style it. So first of all, we will see uh, how a section looks like. So we will go to the inspect element and then click on section. So if you see, the section has taken the entire width of the screen. Now what we want is we want our div tag, I mean the div container is also 100% of width. So what we want is we want to make it as make this div smaller, and we want to bring it at the center of the screen. So what we will do is, so let's suppose we will declare a class name over here. So let's call it table. Now in CSS, whenever we declare a class name and whenever we are going to style it in the CSS, we will always denote the name with a dot. So class names are denoted by dot, and if it would have been an ID, then we would have written over here hash. Since it is a class name, so we will make, so inside the table container, what we will write is percent to make it responsive. Here a max width of, let's say, 700 pixels. So if you will go to the inspect element, see the table container is of 700 pixel width. Now what we want to do is we want to bring this the center of the screen. So we'll do margin 0 pixel. There it goes. But what we can see over here is inside the table container, our table is not taking the 100% of width. So let's make this 100%. We'll declare another class over here. Let's say class name. Now so what it will do is it will take the 100% of the width from this table container, because this is declared inside table container. So if you refresh the page, see the table has taken the 100% of the width. So if tag is 700 pixel, table is also 700 pixel. Now let's design the columns or the cells. For that, what we will do is the main table, we have t head, tr. See, inside the main table, we have t head, and we have tr, and we have th. So inside tr, we have th. Inside the th, we can see the text is already aligned at the center of the cell. So we'll leave it. And instead of that, we will just give it a color. Background color, let's say black. Now we will change the color of the text to white. Okay. Now the next thing is we need to put this text or put these values in the center of the cell. So what we will do is, so these values are inside main table, t body, t row, and td. So dot main table t body tr. Inside t we will write text align center. See, it goes to the center. Now we need a border of the table. For the border, what we will do is border 1 pixel solid hash 000 is black color. See, we have got the table borders. But now we can see there is a space or there is space in between the borders. So to avoid this thing, what we will do is we will write border pull-ups in the main table. If you refresh the page, here it goes. So this is our table. Now let's change the styling of the table a bit more. So let's say let's make the body color something else. Let's say it is now instead of okay, now what we will do is we will put some padding over here. Padding, let's say 10 pixel. Okay, padding over here as well. Pixel. All right, so it looks good now. So let's suppose let's make the border color white. That will look good. But we do not have the border color here. So let's copy and paste it here. Oh, let's not change the color of the border. Same. Now what we want is we want the alternate rows to be colored same. So what we can do here is dot main table for its child out background color. Let's say we are making it DDD. Okay. And let's make the even rows even, and let's change this background color to something else. And even. So let's make it a little bit darker. Okay, this is good, I think. So this table. Now we want that whenever we hover over the row of the table, we want it to be populated or we want it to be focused. So what we can do over here is inside the main table, inside the t body, on the tr, if we over, then this background color should be a little darker. See, when we hover over the rows, it becomes darker. Now, the texts are not visible that much. So what we will do is we will change the color of the text. Inside the main table, we have t-body, and inside the t-body we have tr. And when we hover over tr, then changes the color to white. Now see, the text is white. So this animation is pretty much faster, and let's make it a little bit smooth so that we get a very good animation. For that, we will use a transition method. So we'll change the transition method on this thing, on this over kit transition. Let's suppose we make the transition duration for 500 ms, 500 milliseconds. Now, WebKit is for Safari and Chrome. Mozilla will make it for Microsoft Edge, Opera. Now we will copy this from here, and paste it in color as well. And also we need to make paste it here as well. And now see, we get a nice effect. See, all right. So guys, that is all about the HTML tables. There are many other things like call span. So call span is used to combine two columns, and there is a row span that is used to combine two rows. So you can, you can keep on practicing this, and I will also share a file with all the HTML table tags. And I want you guys to, practice a little bit on it, and with a good practice you will become a good coder. So that's all for today. If you like the video, just if this video is beneficial for you, just like it and subscribe it and press the bell icon, and we will see you in the next